Hey, hi Tesla.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Performance Seminar. I'm getting our live stream set
I
up.
wonder where the others are, or is it just me?
Let me check the program. I'm just making sure our live stream goes through right now. Okay. And we are on the link in there. And I think it's just you actually on the program this evening. I'm surprised there's not other people.
Oh, okay.
All right, but so I think you probably know the procedures here. Make sure your original sound is enabled so it doesn't cut out your piano sound thinking it's background noise. Um, and if you can, okay, what do we got going on with this song? Okay, so if you can, if you're all set up, when you're ready to play, tell us the name of your piece and maybe the composer. And then when you're ready to start, go for it. Okay.
Okay, but do I have to turn my camera on?
I mean, ideally, but if you're not able to set it up so we can see you play, then that's okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So let us know what you're playing.
Okay. So do I introduce myself yet?
Yeah, sure. It's you're all set to go. So
Okay. Hello, my name is Tesla, and I'll be playing "Singing in the Rain," and it was composed by Nakio Herb Brown.
mhm. All right. Great job, Tesla. Okay, so nice work on this. So tell me, are you performing this for the as part of the empathy concerts?
Yeah, empathy.
Okay, nice. Yeah, this is sounding terrific. So what were you really happy with in that performance?
So I was happy with the start. It sounded pretty good, but then once I got to this part, I was kind of confused because you know this part, right? I got kind of confused with this part. I was kind of thinking like it was the same as the other part I just played.
Yeah, well, so let's talk about the form of this, right? So this is a song. It's from a musical movie, and this is a famous. You may not have. I don't know if you've seen the clip of this in the movie. It was a famous dancer that did this a whole big, um, song and dance sequence in the movie. So it's like a famous movie um, part. Um, but let's look at the shape of this. So this is a song, right? So just like a pop song, um, we're expecting some like verse chorus situation, right? That repeats a couple times. Um, and if you look at this, right, if we go in, let's go in like four bar, like four measure segments. That's how this tends to be built, right? Dun, 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 dun. And then we have another four. Ba, ba, dun, 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 dun. And then we have our second eight or second group of two, four measures. Oh, So this is kind of the chorus. So think of this as like the chorus part of the song. So if you notice well, in the way your music is printed, each line has four measures in it, right? So they printed the music so it shows it nicely, right? So you have in other words, a two things of 8 bars, right? And then we have
Yeah.
kind of so the real, like the big um ending to this is in, oh, and let me see. I'm sorry, I thought I was sharing. Um, so the ending to the first big, I just want to see phrase, like this first big part of this is right here, right? Dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Now, notice that feels kind of incomplete, right? So we kind of left it on, if you notice the key signature of the piece and where your left hand is
Yep.
revolving, right? So this is in G, right? And we kind of left it,
Yeah.
we kind of left it on E, which is an odd place for our melody to kind of end. So this whole first section, right, we got a little bit of resolution, but the whole thing came to this kind of inconclusive thing. So you're exactly right that as you go into the second page, it's going to be basically a repetition of the first page, but it's going to end a little bit differently, right?
Yeah.
And there might be some different notes for the different words. So we're kind of like repeating this same part of our chorus. And at the end, notice da 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 da, right? And then we can just hold right the G. So now it's a little bit, the ending on this page is more conclusive. So you're right that you're repeating that whole 16 measure unit. We're kind of ending in a more final cadence point for our melody. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I believe, now I can't remember, it's been a long time since I've seen this in the context of the musical, but I think these originally, so this song would have like a verse part that comes before this, but this is the main, right? The chorus. So you notice you have the hook, the name of the song is Singing in the Rain. So the actual words Singing in the Rain are in the chorus part. So there are some particular ways that songs are constructed. Um, nice. So I mean, and I thought this was really well done. I liked you had a good handle on the swung rhythms of the eighth notes. And that was sounding really nice. Yeah. So what was something that you found challenging while you were learning this piece?
So, maybe the repeating lookalikes that aren't actually really repeating.
Mm, yeah, so that maybe there's some slight differences in the rhythm of the right hand, especially based on what words they were fitting with
Yeah.
the melodic note. So that can be a little tricky. So I think, so big picture with that, remember that either you can say the words as you're doing it and that'll help you remember, or I mean, remember that when you're playing, nobody knows about the words. So even if you mess up a little bit of the different rhythms, as long as you can keep going with the right line, then it's fine, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. All right, yeah, and this is sounding terrific. So I think one thing I'm hearing here, and I like that your playing was really strong. One thing I'm hearing though, I think, can you bring a little bit more variety to your the melody of your right hand? Um, so maybe a little bit less connected for some notes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes
Can you try it again
sense.
from the beginning?
Okay.
Hmm? and I think so that's if I see what you're talking about now, right? So because there's so many times that next idea that's in measure nine, right? Because that idea comes in so many times, right? Bum ba bum ba bum bum ba bum ba bum 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 bum. That's what it is, right? So it's that third time you do it, you got to remember you go down to E and then up, right? So dun 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 dun. You skip over the A the third time you do that. I see what
Yeah.
you're talking about, right? Um, okay. Can you try one last thing for me here?
Okay, yeah. What
I'm
is it?
just curious. So keep your right ear. That was good. I think we had a little bit more pep in the right hand. What I want you to try right now, everything's sounding great. I want to see if you can try to detach the left hand notes a little bit more. So leave a little bit of space.
It's
Yeah,
kind of like
but but keep your right hand the way it was. Keep your right hand, a little bit more sustained. Yeah. Try.
wait.
Yeah. So do you hear the difference there a little bit?
Yeah, I can hear
So
it.
what that does is it's kind of you're separating not just by maybe dynamic or something where you're bringing out the right hand and the left hand is softer. You're also now separating them by articulation, where the left hand is kind of sounding a little bouncy and the right hand is sounding a little bit more sustained and vocal. Does that make sense? So
Yeah, that's
that made the right hand pop a little more actually. Um, so something else to remember there. You can sometimes contrast the articulation between hands to bring one or the other out. Yeah, that was sounding great, Tesla. So that'll be terrific. All right, thanks for playing. I'll see you next time you play and have a good weekend, okay? Thanks.
okay. Bye.
Bye.